So please
So
introduce yourself.
my name is Ravi Ranjan Singh. I am from Jharkhand. And if you talk about my qualification, then I recently completed my graduation. Currently, I am doing my preparation for SSC CGL examination. And some of my hobbies are like singing song, listening to music, playing cricket, and reading some good books.
So do you have any topic to discuss?
Yeah, I have various topics, but I like that you just suggest me any topic because
If you have, please
whenever
raise. Yes.
so I would like to just have my topic on water crisis in India.
Okay. Yes. This is good
I
topic. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
So
So our
will you express your views or first? What is your opinion on this?
okay. Well, I would like to have conversation in a debate manner. First of all, we have to say some valid points about what is the importance of water. Either you will say it or I will say it. Then the
Yeah.
whenever it comes to my side or whenever I have to express my views, then I will just contradict you, whatever you will say. So, so you
Okay.
get some valid points and some
Yes.
invalid means you have to check my points. So no, no, you this is wrong, this is right. So this
Yes. This is good. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So if you ask about what is the important, what is the need of water, or what is the importance of water, so without water there is no life. We can't imagine our life without water. Not for human beings, for all creatures who are living, are not living also. Even or in every means we can't survive our life without water. So water is very important in our life, as well as for agriculture also important. Without water we can't means cultivate our fields, as well as for plants it's important. For everything water is important, for cooking, for cleaning, for everything water. Without water we can't imagine anything.
yeah.
Yes.
You are right because water is life. After air, the second
Mhm.
important thing for human generation or any living things on this planet is water, because
Yes.
ultimately water is important for our overall not only development also, but in our it is used in our daily cures also, either in the form of cooking, bathing, or we can
Yes.
use it in a very okay. But the thing is that although we have almost three-fourths of the land covered with water, but
Mhm.
still we are facing crisis. That's the problem of this planet. So according to you, what are the basic problem or why this problem just evolved, the water crisis, not only in India or in the parts of across all over the world, I can say in African countries or in European countries. So what is the basically the problem, how the problem just arises, although we have water, I can say three-fourths of the earth land is covered with water, but still we are just facing water crisis. So what's the reason behind it?
In my opinion, because we are facing this problem, we are not using water in a correct way. We misuse it, and even mm, we misuse it, as well as because of the lack of rain also, as required. Means that is what is the requirement for every year. That rain is not happen, because of that one reason. This is also one reason. And
Yeah,
we misuse, as I will told you, we misuse. And lots of chemical wastage from chemical from companies. And uh, they also pollute our water,
yeah,
because
you're right.
their means all their chemicals, wastage chemical, go in the water body, and because of that it pollutes our body, water body also.
Yeah. Yeah, you just mentioned right. Although we have two-third, or I can say three-fourths, I according to my point of view, two-third area of land is covered with water. But the thing is
Yes.
that we have saline water. We don't have pure water. Actually, among if we have 100 90% of water in this planet, then we have only 1% of pure water in this particular earth. Because if we go to our north part, we have north pole and south pole. So both the poles are covered with ice. So we have
mm,
ice in poles. And if we talk about other water, just other water sources of this particular planet, then we have oceans like Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. We have various oceans, and all those water are saline water that we are not useful for our cooking purpose also, or for drinking purpose also. So they
yes.
are not useful. We are using only groundwater or river water coming from mountain ranges, and actually these all water constitute only a 1%. So if we talk about the purity in water, then we have only 1% of pure water, and that only 1% is giving life not only human beings but all the living organism on this particular planet. So but
Mm-hmm.
if we see current scenario, then day by day we are just advancing ourselves. We are putting in industrialization. We are just having some we are just creating global warming effects. So we have ozone layer in our atmosphere, and day by day we are degrading the level of ozone. That's why the heatness of earth is increasing day by day due to the carbon dioxide emission. So that's
Mm,
why the glaciers are, and overall we are seeing the climate change in our surrounding, because you just mentioned that now don't have particular amount of rainfall that we used to have
yes,
in our earlier days. The reason
yes.
behind this is the global warming. We are just deforestation, cutting down the trees in large amount. That's the main reason. And you just also mentioned industrial waste. Just they are just putting their water waste into directly in the river without treating the water. So this is also the main reason, because we are using chemicals and fertilizers in our industrial sector, but still we are not treating those things, and we are just discharging them in the river. So this is not affecting not only the humans but also the aquatic life of that particular region, because fish live in water, various aquatic lives live in water. So they are also just contaminated through these fertilizers and chemicals. So not only humans but they are also affected badly. So my next question would be, according to your point of view, what measures should government, or what measures should people should take to just avoid the problem of this, like I can say industrial waste, or I can say this, how we can overcome to the water crisis in India?
Because according to me, as already government had already make many rules, and if all industry follow these rules, so this problem can solve. At least some extent, this problem can solve. And as as a human, we should use water that is required only. We should not even in our home also, when we use also, we should be very carefully we should use that.
Yeah. So so if you look the basic in your home, if you look by, I can say, visualize your thing as in your
Mm,
surroundings, then you will find that although governments are taking various steps in regarding how we can just conserve water, or how we can just go on move on that particular climate that we used to have in our country. But the thing is that nowadays we are seeing deep boring in our home, and we don't have just access that if we talk about earlier days, then in our earlier days we have a common tube well through which just
yes.
people can just get that water in their particular house. But nowadays we have boring in each and every house. So this is the main reason why the ground level water is just depleting day by day, because now we are have boring in our all houses. So people are just wasting water because they have abundance of water in their home. So the
Mm,
government should take steps regarding this, because if we talk about the regions of hill station region, if we talk about the states like Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, or eastern states, then they are not allowed to do boring in their home, because the landslide, due to the land structure of that particular region, because whenever they do boring in their home, the whole geographical condition of the states got damages. Because we will get some news about earthquake in northern part of India or eastern parts of India, landslide in those areas, because this generally happens because the demographic situation of those particular states is not suitable for boring. But still we are living in a plain area, but we are not just knowing the interest of this particular, we are not knowing the use of this particular, I can say, groundwater. So people should understand it's their limitation, that okay, they have access of doing borings in their home, but the thing is that it should be not done in a big manner, because ultimately it will hamper us in our future life, or for our upcoming generation. So because the main thing that we are using is groundwater, we are dependent on groundwater, and farmers are dependent on rainwater. So if we are depleting both the waters, then not only the India will face water crisis, but ultimately we will also face crisis in agriculture sector also. We are not going to produce our crops in a large amount.
mm,
We will face problems like I can say all the demand or price of the food prices will rise, and we start facing the problems of like all the things this price cost uplifted. So people will ultimately face lots of problems and start blaming the governments that they are not taking various steps that whole the country is facing problems in not only in the field of water, they are also in the field of food markets.
But as you told now, because we use a bore well, and because of that, these problem happen. So in city area also, when water will not come on daily basis, so because of that reason, many in many building or many society, they means prefer for bore well. They prefer because they have no other option.
Yeah. So the thing is that the people of locality or a particular society should make a group that okay, we the government is not giving a water on a daily basis. So what we just create a group and do a deep boring on a particular spot, and we will just collect those water from we collect the whole family or the whole house of that particular locality will collect water from there only, because there will be one deep boring on the particular society, and the pipes will go throughout that
Okay.
particular deep boring to all the houses. So this will be a better option than having deep boring on personal level.
Mm. And other thing is, uh, like as we use water by boring or other things, but what we do without water, we can't survive our life. And even many people are not aware about this situation. Means in future we can face lots of difficulties. So what is our responsibility? How we can aware the person who are not aware with that, with them?
Okay. So according to me, I can say people should educate women, because ultimately all the household chores are done by women only prominently, I
Yes,
can say,
yes,
because
yes.
ultimately they are the creator of the home.
Mm.
So
Yes.
if the woman is educated, the family or the whole family gets educated, because ultimately the family's I can say discipline or manners depends on the lifestyles of women. So if they are just utilizing the water in an adequate amount or in a proper manner, then their children will also see and just follow them. So
Mm.
see, the whole generation will get knowledge about this particular how we can just use the water in a well manner. Secondly, we have to educate children in their school that okay, you have to understand the importance of this particular water, that water is essential not only for human beings but also for all the living beings on this planet. And if we destroy it, our upcoming generation will going to face big problem, because we
Mm.
have only one to survive, that is earth, and we have to save this planet. Thirdly, in rural areas, or we can say in villages areas, government should construct dams.
Yes.
So okay, so government should construct dams, because although we don't have water or people are not educated in India in such a level that if we compare with the countries like US or UK, so government should take proper steps, because we should take steps over groundwater harvesting, deep irrigation system, because water can be conserved in various methods. Like we have to construct dams, so the water will be secured or preserved.
Mm.
We can utilize those water in summer days, and the ground level water will be just be in good amount if we construct a dam. Secondly, the government should implement good farming techniques like drip water irrigation system, so that water should not be wasted in fields in a large amount. So particularly the farmers should understand that okay, water is essential in the field of farming, but the thing is that they should give water in the roots of the plants only. They should not destroy the water all over the field. So drip water
Mm.
irrigation system be implemented. Thirdly, the government should take forward steps in rooftops harvesting system in the states like Rajasthan. So whenever in a rainy day, whenever we have water in our roof, we have to just conserve those water in our ground, so so that we can use those water. Or if we are not going to use those particular water, then ultimately our ground level water will be good, in a good amount. So we have to think about these types of steps that we can use, and only through education only people will understand the importance of water.
because in rainy season, if because lots of waste, water waste, and if we conserve that water in a good way, so that water can be also used.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, people, there is a way that first shower of rain should be left, because in the first shower of rain our roof is quite dirty, so we should left the first shower of rain. When the second shower of rain comes, we should just conserve this, that particular amount of water in our field. Like whenever we create a tank, whenever we create a dig a just sand and create a tank, so this type of measure we can take. Just we dig a hole, big amount of hole, and we just put a pipe in our roof and just connect those pipe to our that particular tank, and the whole water will be collected on those particular tank. So this will ultimately improve our level of groundwater. If we are not going to use those water, then ultimately it is going to improve the level of groundwater, because the water is in ground. Because nowadays we are just cementing all the earth surface. We have roads. So roads, cemented roads can't absorb water. Water is absorbed by ground only by sand only. So we have to understand that
Yes.
nowadays we are just buildings made up of cements, or we can say rods. So they are not going to absorb water. So what the thing we should do? We should just collect water on sand. So rooftop harvesting system is a better option, because in India, with the coming of industrialization, water is not, I can say, absorbed by land, and whole water is just flowing in the ocean or in the Bay of Bengal side. Because although we are rich in rivers, we have rivers like Ganga, Indus, Brahmaputra, Kaveri, Krishna, Godavari. We have lots of river, but we are not utilizing proper amount of water of this particular river. We are just wasting this water in the ocean. Because if you look about the Indian geographical condition, then Brahmaputra, Ganga, their whole water is just going in the Bay of Bengal. So
Mhm.
government should understand that okay, we have multiple rivers, but we should have multiple river projects also, so that people of, like I can say, Rajasthan, people of like Jharkhand should have water through this particular river. Because some states have rich in water access. Because if you talk about Bihar, then every year they have problem of floods. If we talk
Yes.
about peoples like Bengal, then they have problems. But if we talk about regions like Rajasthan, if we talk about Jharkhand, then they have problems like droughts. So so
Mhm.
government should understand that they can diverse the path of river. They can just modify structure and just put uh, just force the rivers to change its path, so that people of different states can also get access of water.
As we are facing this problem a lot, but in spite of this, our government and we also not taking more care about this,
Yeah.
because this should be our first priority. If we are facing really and are we are going to face this problem in future, so this will be our first priority, and each and everyone should start to think and to save water from today only, so that problem can solve resolve. Otherwise, only for saying or only to study in books is not enough, or only to discuss it's not enough,
Yeah.
because
First of
everyone should take some small step, and that small step can become a big, and can this problem can solve by taking a small steps only.
yeah, first of all, if you want to change the world, then you have to change yourself. Without changing yourself, you can't think that I will change the whole country or the whole world.
Yes.
First of all, you have to change yourself. So people should change their mentality, and people should change their behavior. Just we can take small steps. Like if we bath, then we just collect water in our tub, or you can say bucket. We should not just bath in a shower. Or
Power.
whenever we wash car, we just collect water in our bucket, and we just wash car through bucket and mug. We just not put pipes on our cars because this will ultimately a large amount of water get wasted through this type of process. When
Mhm.
what I see that the child of this generation, whenever they have brush, whenever they do brush to their teeth, they just open the I can say, um, open the water. um, I don't know, water cap, and they just start brushing, and water is
Yes.
just getting down and down. So people should understand the importance of water. That okay,
Mm-hmm.
their small can ultimately have big impact. Standard 8, I can say. And at that time, I was quite surprised that okay, these type steps can be taken. So I was quite amazed with the technique, and also I
Mm-hmm.
just implement this in my home only, because I just
Mm-hmm.
connected a pipe and whole water, my whole water just get collected in my nearby land. So
Okay.
people start following.
Yes, because if we will not understand, so definitely our future generation will suffer a lot. As we heard
Yeah,
in news and many social media platforms, in future we will, eat water capsules for
yeah,
yes.
you are right.
So
Because
it will true if we will not save our water, so that condition can come in future.
yeah, and in today's world also, people are using those type of capsules. If we talk about the people, those people who go into space for research
Mm,
purpose, then what they eat in the space, they actually
mm,
spend 2 to 3 days in space. Then they have this type of facilities like
yes,
a water capsule, food capsule, and
yes,
they just sustain their life on this particular type of medicine. But the thing is that although we have this type of food items like cap in the form of capsule, but ultimately they impacts our health. So we should not think that okay, in future we will have capsule, but
yes,
we are not going to live life of 60 years, 80 years. In future our whole life will be about 40 years. So people should
yes,
think in that way.
yes. And because still we are not very much careful about that. Very few people have knowledge of these things, and there are still people who know everything, but they still waste water because they have that mentality. I can't change the world because doing myself, the whole world can't change. It is the
Yeah,
responsibility of our government.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
they should think that if so they should think that if they are not going to eat, the whole world will not eat. Box me that I have this particular topic, then I will be just send you a time that okay, this time I will be comfortable. Either
okay.
you will come with those time, then we can just together put a time.
Yes, yes, sure. Okay, thank you. Giving your precious
Thank you.
time. Bye bye. Yeah, thank you.
No, we also love this session. Bye.